What's up? Welcome to tonight's isolation session, team. Again, before we get started, tonight is it's already Thursday. We're going into the end of the week. We already know that Fridays are usually days we don't really take trades. But specifically, right, especially the last Friday of the month, right, the last week of the month, the beginning of the month are usually days where we try to stay out of trades. Um, Not the best places to trade. We already know that, on top of the fact that a lot of pairs, in respect to their market makers overall pattern as well, we know that some of these pairs are just not in the right spot to be trading in. So over the course of the last week and a half, 2 weeks, we saw that a lot of pairs did a lot of fake outs, right? Made people believe that we're gonna break highs to continue the push, right? But then they'll break highs and then they'll go low, or vice versa. They'll break lows and then we'll think price is gonna continue to go short and then it'll continue to push to the top side. So and there's a lot of instances for that. There's a lot of fake out patterns that we could talk about, right? There's the fake out bearish flag post, there's the fake out bullish flag post, there's a fake out double bottoms that turn into double tops, or vice versa, double tops that turn into double bottoms, engulfing bearish candles, bullish engulfing candles that turn bearish, right? Bearish engulfings that turn bullish. Just a lot of fake outs, right? A lot of breakup structures going short and then it turns around and goes highs and goes long. So 372s that turn into just price. We have 2 days of a continuation. On the third day it just turns around and goes short, or a lot of price action where price consolidates, right, and then it breaks above and then fakes out and goes short, which again we know that as a type 1 pattern. So just long story short, we understand that these last couple weeks, these last couple days, um it's just the market being corrected, right? We understand that we're going into the first Friday of the month as well. We're gonna have high impact news. We have NFP on Friday, this upcoming, not tomorrow, next Friday, I believe the 7th, right? Yeah, so on the 7th we know we have NFP. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. As long as we stay patient, again, we have rules that we follow. As long as we follow our rules and we stay patient and we wait for the right times to enter a trade, we're gonna get a trade. And not only are we gonna get a trade, but we're gonna get a trade that pays out. If we didn't trade for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that one trade is gonna pay us out what we would have made in those 2, 3 weeks. Trading 10, 15 pips. So, and again, we have STP. We know AUD. We could catch anywhere from 25 to 34 pips this week. Anytime we catch a trade, right? Trade for trade. So, if you're telling me that all I gotta do is wait a couple days to catch 40, 50 pips, 60 pips on these pairs that move a lot, I'd rather catch 40, 50, 60 pips on one trade than have to catch 10 pips, 5 or 6 different times. So that's really the key in trading. At least that's what I found out in my journey of trading, in my journey of trying to figure out what type of trader I want to be, what style of trading I like to trade, what's more comfortable, what makes more sense for the way we trade, right? I'm really only on my charts from 5:30 in the morning. Hold on, give me 1 second. My bad. I'm also dealing with some family shit real quick, so give me 2 seconds before I start. Um, Damn, that's not good. So yeah, with that being said, guys, I'm sorry, just give me 2 more seconds here. Gotta make sure everything's good. Um, so yeah, pretty much long story short, right? We just gotta be patient, wait for our trades, wait for our opportunities to enter, um, and then just do exactly that. Once we get the opportunity to enter a trade, guys, we just got to take advantage of it. So, there's a few other questions that I know we've had, even just pretty much beginner traders, right? And I guess I could start drawing that out real quick before we even start. I don't want this class to be too long. So this is pretty much the only breakdown, or should we wait till Sunday? You know what? We'll wait till Sunday so we could do the weekly market breakdown. Let's write that down in our. I'm gonna write that shit down in our notes real quick. Tomorrow's the 31st. We'll do the weekly breakdown. We'll probably do it on Saturday or Sunday. Um, we'll do a Saturday evening. So we'll do it on the first. Let me write let me write these ideas down real quick before we start weekly market breakdown. Go over engulfing candle entries and exit strategy. Alright, so we already know that on Saturday we'll be doing the weekly market breakdown. We'll go over the engulfing candles, their exits, and their entries. So we had some people like, oh, why don't you always have a 5, a 6, a 10 pip stop loss? Why does it always change? It depends, right? And we'll give you an example with this engulfing candle here on AU. So we know AU on this day was one that was moving about 20, I think it was like 32 pips, 30 pips, I think on Tuesday. So before we got this engulfing candle, which happened during the NYC session, we got the retest at 10:30 a.m. and then price just continued to go down. Um, this engulfing candle, right? If we're in this entry, because of how large this red candle is, and how big these second green candles were as well, we know that this entry had a 14 pip stop loss, right? That stop loss, it depends. Again, it just depends how big the zone is. If the zone is smaller, it could be it could be a 9 pip, a 8 pip, a 7 pip stop loss. It could be a 20 pip, 30 pip, 40 pip stop loss. It depends on the time frame, right? The 30-minute time frame, we know we'll have about a 10 to a 20 pip stop loss. We know that in the 15-minute it'll be a little bit smaller, right? 7 to 14. In the 5-minute it could be even shorter, it could be even smaller, right? 4 to 7 pip stop loss. It just depends on the time frame. It depends how big the candlesticks are, vice versa to the time frames. Sorry guys, I'm getting all these messages. So yeah guys, let's get started. Again, today's Thursday. We understand the end of the week, Friday usually don't have any trades like that. So we're just gonna break this down here in the 30-minute. I'm not gonna go into detail in the daily and the 4 hour, none of that. We're just gonna again we're just gonna focus here on the 30-minute. On next week, you're gonna see we'll do a little bit of an update on my charts. I want to update where we're at in the pattern, kind of change this. So like AU, I already know I'm in A2, in a downtrend, so I know that I'm looking for price to bounce off the 50 EMA. So this is, I'm gonna change this. Let me see what I want to change this to. Right, daily A2, and then we know we're looking for. We'll also do this. Give me 1 second. So, we're looking for price to bounce off the 200 EMA. We had a 4-hour green 4-hour candle. We have a day of counter rise. Currently still trading higher high, higher low, higher high. Then price gave us a change of character, lower low, lower high, break of structure, lower low, lower high. Could this be the break of structure retest to continue to push to the bottom side? It could be. Would love to see price give us an engulfing candle here. Let's check the 4-hour. Nothing on the 4. We know nothing on the daily. We know nothing on the 1. Nothing on the 30 for right now. Nothing on the 15 for right now. Nothing on the 5-minute either. Would love to see an engulfing candle here at the top side, engulfing bearish, so we could start looking for shorts. If not, again, this price going back below the 200 EMA, could we get an aggressive trade here? Yes, understanding that this entry down here at this moment has a 15 pip stop loss, right? I'm not comfortable using a 15 pip stop loss, only using the EMAs as confluence, right? I'll use the EMA as confluence, and I'll give you an example. Let's see if we can find one. For example, on a trade like this, why would I be more comfortable on a trade like this? At one point we're consolidating, right? Rejecting the lows, going back up to the highs. We swept the highs. As soon as we swept the highs, what did price do? Lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Below the zone, lower high on the 200 EMA. Right, so I already know that this entry with this confluence and the structure that we have with consolidation, breaking below it, the sweep of the highs, I could use a comfortable 9 pip to 10 pip stop loss, right? And then we already know that price is just going to continue. Same thing, let's just continue to look for it. What the only way I'll be using confluence with the EMAs again is if we have something else to go by. For example, down here, we know we had the 4-hour lows. Right, so at the 4-hour lows is where we want to see that last push before price turns back around. We had lower low, lower high, lower low. We're looking for that pullback. This pullback right on the 200 EMA, right? And they're like, oh, but where's our stop loss? In this case, is a little bit different because we're looking at the 30-minute zone too. At one point, we know we're trading between this high and this low. What are we looking for? We're looking for a pullback between 50 and 61.8. Where would our stop loss be? This entry up here, here to here, right? It's a little 20 pip stop loss. Not a bad. We use it in confluence with the fib retracement. We use it in confluence with market structure, and I'm pretty sure if we go down to a lower time frame, we could find. Oh man, all good. We know we could find a little bit better of an entry and a little bit better of a stop loss. But with that being the case, also we know right now we're still making higher time frame, higher highs and higher lows on AU. So these shorts right now in the middle is just kind of how many times is price going to come back down to these lows, reject the lows, and continue to push to the top side, right? We understand that we're pretty much in a zone of consolidation in the external time frame. We know that we're consolidating, just moving sideways between this high and this low. So the fact that we continue to fail to break the lows and we continue to fail to break the highs, we really don't have any clean direction. We don't have a clue as to where price wants to go, right? The only thing we know right now is that they continue to sweep the highs and they continue to sweep the lows. Right, so that's all we could go for with AU. EA gave us another day of no net. Price is moving sideways for the last 3 days. We know we're still trading between this 30-minute low and the 30-minute high. Again, today's class is just going to be me updating the 30-minute time frame. As you can see, price is just moving sideways. This is the end of the week. The end of the month. This is the last Friday of the month. I'm not expecting anything crazy. Monday we had a bank holiday. Today we had news and we could see that price kind of just went both ways, right? It went up like crazy and then went right back down. It just consolidated, right? There was really no market structure. We're still trading between the same 30-minute high and the 30-minute low. Price is just moving sideways. Euro USD is doing the same thing as AU, right? Externally, yeah, we could see that price is still wanting to make higher highs and higher lows. But again, we're just moving sideways, right? From this place here to this place here. Price is just moving sideways. There's no clean direction. We're making lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Technically, lower low, lower high, lower low. Then price makes higher high, higher low, higher high. Then price goes back down, gives it lower low, lower high, lower low. There's no direction. There's no clean trend, right? A trend, as we know, is higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We know a trend going down is lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And we know that consolidation is just price moving sideways, going both ways. Higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Oh shit, what happened? Right? Consolidation is just that, right? When price is moving sideways, when there's no clean trend, price is just doing whatever it wants, right? I ran out of space on my mouse pad. So so that's the case right now with EU. We had a day of counter drop. Today, price gave us a day of rise. Perfect. Exactly what we want to see, and price opened up with a green 4-hour candle. GA, same thing. Price is just moving sideways. Price opened up the same spot, gave us a day of no net, 30-minute low, 30-minute high, 30-minute highs rejected, went back down to the lows. We can see price already gave us a fat candle to open up this, Friday's market. We already got 38 pips out of, where's my phone? Let's see. This one overall ADR is 89, STP is 59. So the fact that we already did 38 pips, could already expect price not to really do anything. GCAD, similar to everything else, moving sideways, still trading within the same 30-minute high, the 30-minute low. We see that the highs were rejected, lows were rejected, back to the middle, back to the high, back to the middle, back to the high, back to the middle, back to the high, rejected the highs, back down to the middle. And again, another day where we just have 4 days where price is just moving sideways. So again, nothing really to update. Price is in the same spot we were in for the last 3 days. Again, I'm not gonna go crazy into details as to where we're at because it's in the same spot. If you guys really want to watch it, we could go watch yesterday's class. We could watch Tuesday's class. It's pretty much the same thing. GJ here. I'm in a little bit of an aggressive trade, trying to see if price wants to give us a 372, right? So GJ right now is the best one to keep an eye on. We know that we're in peak high territory. We know that we're making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Then price gave us a change of character, lower low. Now, why is this an aggressive entry? There's only 2 things that I'm looking at here. Number 1 thing is the 50 EMA. We know that in peak high territory, which is just push 1, right, level 1, we want to see price bounce off the 50 EMA. Not only are we on the 50 EMA, but after a change of character or after a break of structure, I'm also looking for a retracement back to the 50%. So right now you can see that entry gave me 0 pullback, or I'm sorry, drawdown. Literally 0 drawdown. 2.8 or 1.9 pullback for price to go back down, right? 27 pips. So right now I'm sitting comfortable on this trade. I'm not putting my stops at break even yet. I do just have my stop loss. Instead of it being up here at 25 pips, I have it moved down low at 10 pips. So I'm not really risking anything too crazy. If I see price deciding to turn back around and just continue to make the internal structure higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, then I'll get out. I'll probably move my stops to break even. But we know that we have 2 days of drop. After 2 days of drop, could we be expecting a 372? Absolutely, right? 171 is not STP for this. STP for this is 112 is ADR. STP is 75. That's kind of low for this pair, but we have been moving kind of sideways too here. We didn't really have a lot of volume until yesterday, pretty much. Well, today. So 75 pips. We'll see. We'll see if this trade holds up. GU, we had a day of counter drop. Today gave us a day of rise. Perfect. Right, again, not and then that gap that was shown up here yesterday in this chart is no longer there as well. That kind of fucked me over yesterday. I was like, oh man, we could be expecting this shit to turn back around, cover that huge ass gap that we had, and for some reason TradingView was the only one that had it. Price that gave us a pullback on the 200 EMA. But once I already saw, there's 2 things that I saw, which is number 1, the engulfing candle. Right, once we got this engulfing candle and I saw that price went already past the high of the day, and it swept these highs instead of giving us a clean break of structure, I already knew that this was not a valid engulfing candle. I already knew that this engulfing candle, that this would have been the retest. We already knew that because price already reached the high of the day and we didn't get a clean break of structure, we already knew that this wasn't going to be a valid trade. Now, if price would have given us this green candle and then the next candle would have been another green candle and then we would have gotten a pullback, meaning if we would have gotten a clean break of structure of this zone and then a pullback, then yes, 100% we could have taken this trade back up to the top side, right? So once we saw that we got that sweep off that of the highs, I was like, this is not going to be a good trade for us to even take. So that's exactly what happened. Price went down into the engulfing. You know, again, all the people who don't understand market structure and don't really understand what a real break of structure is and what a fake out is, they probably got into these trades and then straight into stop loss, right? Straight into drawdown. So it was good thing on us to continue to stay out of these trades. US30 for the day, which is kind of moving sideways, did give us another day of drop, which gave us that 372 that we were looking for. But that 372 we were looking for wasn't really steep. Price didn't really do anything crazy. It just kind of moved down. It didn't give us STP for the day. So you know, it swept these lows multiple times, hit everybody's stop loss. As you can see, I was pretty much following this all day, trying to see if we could catch a continuation or a trade. But no, price just kind of didn't want to move. So another thing that's really big here with US30, a lot of news today as well. Trump just got, you know, the verdict came in. He's a criminal, right? So could be expecting a lot of these stocks to start kind of fucking looking awful, right? We know that that is something that is gonna affect the market. It's already happening. A lot of news are coming out with a lot of stocks that are kind of plummeting because of it. And some might rise, right? Some of them might rise, which is, you know, usually what happens. USDCAD gave us 3 days of rise. On the third day, gave us a rise drop. Could we be expecting that fourth day variation? Absolutely not. And the reason why is the end of the day, it gave us a very, very steep pullback. I'm not expecting price to continue to push to the top side today on a Friday and give us 56 pips on a day where we really don't have any news. Again, last Friday, there's a pair that does 60 pips ADR, STP's 38. I'm not going to be expecting that 4-day variation. Now, could it happen? Yeah, it could happen. Would we be looking for that trade? Yeah, we'll wait for it. We know we have early news tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. So an hour before NYC open. Usually that news doesn't really give us any type of volume. So again, I'm not really going to be expecting it to happen. And on top of that, the 30-minute zone, the same as the other pairs, we're just kind of moving sideways, right? We had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and we're pretty much just trading between the same lower high and lower low. Price went to the highs, swept the highs, went back to the low, rejected the lows, reject the highs, went back to the highs where we were at, rejected the highs. So, you know, it is what it is. We'll continue to wait it out. US oil, we had 2 days of drop. Damn, this is one that we missed a trade. I wasn't on my chart, but it went down and gave us a type 3 pattern. Went down, came back up 50% of consolidation. Right here. Gave us the retest to continue to push to the bottom side. Not bad to give us a 372. So if you were in this trade, yes, you pretty much today midday. That's a nice hold for a new low down here. Am I expecting a pullback at this point? I am not. Right, so we'll continue to look. USD ZAR has 2 days of rise on the third day. Let's see if we could get a third day. I don't think so. I don't believe we'll get one. But we know we're trading between that high and this low now. Gonna use the red candle closure, the green wick since it's the lowest candle in that zone. Gold price just moving sideways as we can see. Did give us a day of rise. We had a 4-hour rise candle, and at this point again we know we're trading between this high and this low. Right now we're in the middle of that, so again this is going to be one where we'll just continue to monitor it. Then last but not least, again, if you guys have any questions, any pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know. If not, then we'll see you tomorrow morning for the last live trading session for this week, and then we'll see you guys again on Saturday. We have a day of rise on Bitcoin. So that's pretty much it, guys. On my list for tomorrow, the only thing I'm gonna keep an eye on is GJ. Again, if price decides to push up and not give us that 372, again, understandably, it makes sense. Again, last Friday of the month, we're in the last week of the month. I'm not expecting none of these continuations to continue. Could they happen? Absolutely. Would I love to have seen a change of character and a break of structure to then catch an entry? Of course. So again, this entry that I'm in is more of an aggressive trade. We don't have any engulfing candles. Only thing we really had was the 50% retracement after a change of character and the EMAs, right? Those are not the best confluences to have. They're not very strong confluences. So we'll continue to monitor it. Again, we have 5:30. Let me write this down. So 5:30 watch. Oh, I'm sorry. 5:31 watch list. I fucked this up already. All good. 5:31 watch list. GBPJPY. Third day low. Okay, perfect. And then tomorrow on the first, we'll do the weekly market breakdown. We'll go over the engulfing candles, their entries, their exits, why they're important to know and to look for on the market. And alright guys, we'll end it there. Discord link is in the link. If you guys are interested in one-on-one sessions, you guys could join the Discord, request one-on-one sessions. They're completely free. The Discord is free. These live streams are free. So we're not here, trying to promote a prop firm where there's no, in my opinion, there is no prop firm right now that's really reliable. All of them could easily just one day be like, all right, we're done, and close their doors down. Recently we saw how surge traders just kind of closed their doors down after promoting the heck out of it for what seemed like 2-3 months on TikTok, on Instagram. Every time I opened up TikTok, every time I opened up Instagram, I saw that later. Do you want to be a profitable trader? And we saw how they just closed their doors down this week. So again, we're not here to promote a prop firm. We're not here to promote a broker even. Simply trying to teach, right? They're simply just trying to teach the skill set that's needed to be a real trader. We're not here promoting Lamborghinis and shit like that. That's not, it's realistic, obviously. But you're not gonna go to a kindergarten class and start telling kindergartners that, hey, in 2 weeks you'll become a millionaire, right? You don't tell a kindergartner who just starting school, right? You don't tell that people to first grade. You'll tell them that in college, you'll tell them that in high school when they're seniors even. But that's already 13 years, 12 years, 10 years of going to school that you start telling people, yeah, you could do this and make a killing, right? Have a career. In the beginning stages is just fantasizing, right? You're in first grade, you're thinking about being an astronaut. You're in second grade, you're thinking about being a firefighter. And then you go into your high school, and then that's when it gets serious. So it's the same thing with trading, right? Your beginner years, if this is your first month trading, if this is your first year trading and you still don't understand it, is fine, right? This isn't something that you're gonna learn overnight. It's a skill just like anything else, right? For my people here who play sports, if you play American football, if you play baseball, if you play football, regular soccer, you're not gonna go tell your parents, hey, I'm gonna go play this sport, and then as soon as you started playing it, we could see how, my bad, off cam, we see how GJ is moving. So again, I'm gonna keep this monitored really closely here. Again, like I said, very aggressive trade, but we'll monitor it for a little bit and we'll see how it goes. Again, I have my stop loss already at 10 pips, so we're risking half of what I initially put in. With that being said, you're not a professional at anything, in any sport, in any career, when you start, and then in a week you think you're gonna be a hot shot, right? It's not real. Right? In any sport that you play, you have to practice. You're practicing 4 to 5 to 6 hours a day, 5, 6, 7 times out of the week. And there's a lot of people who come into trading who think that an hour a day, and it's beneficial. An hour a day is definitely beneficial. And our saying that we always said, an hour a day keeps the 9 to 5 away. But again, realistically speaking, you need 10,000 hours in something in order to be qualified as understanding what you're looking at, right? It's 10,000 hours. And if you do an hour a day, 10,000 hours, you're looking at, someone do the math, right? 3 years, 3.5 years of work. So sometimes we just gotta be realistic as people, right? We gotta stop. We gotta shut off the Instagram. We gotta shut off the Twitters and just focus on ourselves as traders, right? Be like, all right, this is my journey, no one else's journey. The way you intake information is different than how I intake information. Something that might take me 2 months to learn, it might take you 2 weeks. It might take you 2 days. You might understand it as soon as we start talking about it. And that's another thing with life, right? Everybody has their own pace. Everybody learns differently. The only thing we could all do the same is put in the work, right? If you put in 6 hours a day and the next person puts 6 hours a day, it's all about the information intake. So for those people who are just starting off in trading, again, if you don't understand it yet, it's all good. There's no rush. All these internet gurus will tell you differently, and they'll be like, no, you have to understand this. It's so easy. But it's the same way in school. If it was so easy to learn algebra, if it was so easy to learn chemistry, then everybody would be a chemist, right? Everybody would be a mathematician. But it's not that easy. And the people who are successful at it are the people who say, you know what, fuck it. This is what I want to do, whether it's hard or not, and I'm gonna continue to study it, right? And they study it, they study it, they study it until they understand it completely, and then they have a career. The same way in trading. It's very difficult. It's not for everybody. Again, just like being a rocket scientist isn't for everybody, being a surgeon isn't for everybody, being a lawyer isn't for everybody. It's the same thing. There's nothing wrong with it, right? There's nothing wrong with it. That's just part of life. So that's it for today, guys. We're gonna keep it short. Again, on my watch list, GJ is the only one I'm really keeping an eye on, 372, to see if we could continue to have this entry. And yeah, we'll be live again tomorrow morning for the live trading session. Peace out, guys.